Hey guys, how you doing? And welcome to another minute of TGB. Now, so Dana White went overboard on an event, not at a press conference, not at a post-fight or a pre-fight, but at an actual event. He went overboard and took a judge off of a fight card after just 2 fights because he thought he was calling the fights wrong. Crazy, I know. But this happened, and by now all of you have heard about it. Basically, Dana White didn't like how one particular judge was calling fights, thought he was way off, and although he felt the fights, in the end, the decision or the winners were correct, he felt this judge was just going completely wrong about his business, which, parentheses, Dana White picked the wrong judge. But coming back, basically, he kicked off a judge in the middle of a fight card. That's something that a promoter can't do. Now, we have to understand something. We see Dana White as somebody that's almighty within MMA, and especially in the UFC. We believe he can do anything, he can do whatever he wants. Heck, I bet some of you guys are like, hey, that's his right. He can do what he wants. He wants to kick a guy off, he'll kick him off. Well, the truth is that this is something that would never happen if a real commission would have been running that fight card. We have to understand the factors that came into play to allow Dana White to let his inner fan take over and do something that, as a boss, he knew he shouldn't. First of all, we have to understand that the UFC and MMA are not regulated worldwide. There are not commissions everywhere in the world that they go. The UFC actually sets up a lot of fight cards worldwide, trying to expand the sport, but it's going to a lot of places where there aren't any commissions that basically, are there with, rules and regulations that pertain to MMA. So what the UFC does is that they have their own internal division that takes care of auto-regulating it itself and its events when they're in a place where there's no commission. What they do is they take basically the rule book from the Nevada State Athletic Commission and they apply it to wherever they're going. They'll fly in the judges, they'll take care of everything just the same way as the Nevada State Athletic Commission would do it. Now, that's the first factor. The UFC was auto-regulating at this event, meaning it had total control of judges, putting them on, taking them off, doing whatever they felt like. Second thing that came is, the second factor, is that Dana White actually isn't the guy that runs its division. While he is, the almighty in the UFC, or at least he's seen as that, when it comes to auto-regulation, there is another gentleman that takes care of that in the UFC. However, this person was not available because the UFC was having 2 fight cards simultaneously in 2 different countries. And this person decided to go take care of the other one, be at the live event for the other event, while Dana White was the #1 man at this event. Third thing that went into place was Dana White got overexcited. Now, this is not something that happens every day. I mean, yeah, he goes crazy. He has his vlogs. He has, his interviews. He speaks his mind. It's what we love about him. But as a promoter and as a businessman, Dana White knows that what he did was wrong. And we know what it would mean if a promoter could actually kick off a judge. What he did was wrong. It's not something that gets done, even if he were right and the judge is just doing a horrendous job. You need to let the fight card unfold. Judges need to be able to feel that they can do their jobs without being taken out or fired in between fights. So basically, Dana White went overboard. He was wrong. I'm not excusing him. Various factors went into play, but the UFC has already apologized. As has Dana White. They've reached out to the judge. Obviously, he will continue working fights because Dana White cannot say this judge will not work my fights. And basically, we need to keep it fair. So what Dana White likes and what we like as fans is not always what we get. It's not what he will always get. He knows he was wrong. He apologized. And most of all, he knows it's not going to be good for business. It doesn't look good if a promoter is kicking judges off of fight cards. The implications of that within the MMA industry, which is still, in its teenage years, if you like to say, would not be good. So while it was a mistake and it might have seemed cool that he's taking action right on the spot, don't expect it to happen again. In the future, it'll I feel that we'll see a much more controlled Dana White, and he'll understand that no matter how bad a judge calls a fight, if he wants to scream, moan, fight, argue, or call him out, he'll have to do it at the post-fight press conference, because that's the place to do it. Having said that, well, that's it for this TGB Minute, which probably took a lot longer than a minute. My name is Orlando, and as always, follow the Guy Blog on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, on anywhere you can, Tumblr, wherever you want to look us up, we're there. Most of all on YouTube, comment, retweet, anything. I will answer everything. Orlando at the Guy Blog, that's my email. Feel free to reach out, and see you guys soon. Have a great day.